Welcome back everyone, you're watching the training week from December 2nd, where the weekly focus was to get some pagans under our belt and start doing some little hops after the Healy from Wamba on P-Bus. Weekly highlights were 3 caught pagans in a week. I probably couldn't even pull that when I was in full shape. And the biggest highlight, unexpected highlight, was a stoop half to tucked Gaylord 2 on the Saturday. I'm so excited that kind of happened out of nowhere, so you'll see that in this video. But Monday started off with fire. It's not every day you catch a pagan on a Monday. I don't even throw pagans on Monday usually. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Misha and I love gymnastics. And on this YouTube channel, you can see virtually every single meaningful turn I've taken on the equipment in the last sort of 4.5 years. And you can watch me competing in all sorts of domestic competition, international competitions, most notably the 2021 Olympic Games. So on the Monday, we had some organizers from Sports New Zealand coming in and filming, doing some filming for like, you know, a sort of well-being project, and they're filming across a few different sports, gymnastics being one of them. And I had a funny little accident here. Did a Gatson timer and right in front of the camera, absolutely caked it. Boom. Slightly embarrassing, but no worries. Another highlight, I actually started twisting the double back full this week. So that was, you know, it's been a while since I've twisted the double back full. I don't think I twisted it after Singapore, so good to come back to it. But as you'll see, you know, we're entering the pit head first. If you slow it down, you'll see my head is like completely disappeared in the pit, and then the rest of the body follows. So ideally, we switch that around and enter with the feet, with the head upright. Keep working on it bit by bit. Ring strength coming along nicely. Playing with that invert, I mean, the difference between doing a high invert and a level invert is insanity. It's two different skills. I've said it plenty before, but you know, since I can do it high, I might as well train it. Flares coming along, getting hot here in New Zealand, so the shirt's coming off every now and then. But yeah, we've entered summer and the bod feels good. Maybe that's why I caught the pagan. Much like the pagan from Singapore, you know, it's nice and hot, so muscles are feeling good, shoulders feeling good. Well, it'll never feel good, but it hurts less than usual. But yeah, Monday and Tuesday, the first thrown pike Gaylord was a catch. So Gaylord's starting to get a bit more consistent at the start of the week. Not so much in the second half, but still managed a couple pagans. So I couldn't catch on the Tuesday, but you know, fair enough. I pushed it quite hard on Monday, did quite a lot of numbers, and that one there could have been a catch. I like how I flipped it around more, but that last one just opening up too early, and I think that's the one thing I need to try to change in my pagan, to flip just a little bit longer before opening up for the bar. Man, these minute gains on the stoop half, just literally centimeter by centimeter, day by day. On Thursday, I held the handstand. I don't think I've ever done one like that in my life. The legs were apart, but I was pretty stoked. And actually, after I showed Will on Thursday, I was like, check it out, Will, I got some gains in the stoop half today. And he's like, oh man, I'll slide the pad for you. You should do like something out of it. And at that stage, I was like, no, I got to get the stoop half legs together. You know, pretty adamant that it's most important to get the stoop half consistent first. I mean, they only go up to handstand like once every, I don't know, 5 tries or so. And then somehow came Friday, and I just felt like, well, I've done Coleman before surgery from the back uprise, so maybe I'll just do like a tucked Gaylord 2, because ideally it would be a stoop half straight Gaylord 2 would be like the final goal. From memory, before surgery, Coleman from a back uprise was a bit harder than Gaylord 2. Like I had both hands on the pad doing a Gaylord 2 from back uprise, but Coleman I could only manage one hand. So that's why my initial thoughts is just try the stoop half Gaylord 2. Plus it'll work a lot better in the routine construction as well, because you kind of emit a blind change. You don't have to do an extra blind change, and the less giants the better. But man, it was a massive week, so settle in for a long one. We got a 15-minute video today. Big week. Some more double back fulls, again entering the pit head first. But we're working on it. Ankle again, very slowly, feeling better and better each week. Started to do some double twists onto a crash mat. But like I said last week, I'm just excited to come back to the back rotation, which is gonna take the longest. It still stings. And this is the week, December 2nd, where it was the 1-year anniversary. December 1st was the 1-year anniversary post-surgery. So, it's no coincidence that started doing some giant Diamidov timers on the Thursday too. I did a lot this week. Lots of gym this week. No days missed. Thursday was a bit lighter, as it usually is, because it does take me quite a while to recover from a big Tuesday session. I gotta start incorporating some vault into the old training week as well. Haven't done much vault, but I think Yuchenkos should be okay on the ankle now, because you don't have to block so hard on the round off on a Yuchenko. You're more turned over, so there's less of an angle on the ankles. So you know what, maybe this week I'll start some Yuchenkos. And as far as the zone goes, man, I'm dropping the skill. I did have a thought that a D Russian flop, which I've done plenty before, is worth the same as this zone, because zone, of course, getting downgraded to an E now. So maybe train it just for fun. Might help the Gatson work to make that wrist more flexible. But for the D circle part, try pursuing the D Russian flop. So I'll give that a crack sometime before the new year. Thursday, so this is the one day that kind of went bad. I was working in some new grips, doing some fast giants. I wanted to do some triple backs, so I warmed up with giant flyaway, a bit sloppy on the legs there. This was supposed to be another flyaway with tighter legs. Didn't start off too well. And we've seen it before. Twisties, flippies, the whole shazam. So man, that gets the heart beating. So I was quite frustrated after that, so I said, you know what, no triples. And I hopped up and made sure I controlled my body and just did like 3 or 4 flyaways in a row. I didn't want to go from giant because it literally was that situation where I felt if I go from giant, I'm gonna do something stupid again, So just from back uprights to make sure things are under control. A couple of Gaylord taps to prep myself for the Friday. And this whole week I was thinking pagan legs together, that's the goal. Pagan legs together on the catch with a good extension. That was the goal, and I came pretty darn close on Friday, Saturday. Pretty much as close as it gets. Doesn't match the pagan from when I made that video of catching all the Gaylord skills, and that's exactly what I'm after. I want pagan to look just like that every single time. And I want the stoop half to look just like that every single time, but minus the legs. So that's the one I showed Will, where Will said, you should connect something out of it. And a little bit of giant Diami prep to finish the Thursday off. And I kind of like what I did on Thursday. Just keep it light, popped some ankle weights on, put a mat to make it more difficult not to brush the feet. Give myself like an extra day to recover from the big Tuesday, but work on some basic things which aren't gonna hurt me. So here I'm just trying to work on that pop. I remember I was pretty happy with my elbow. The point of focus here is my elbow. So if you're ever watching my double backs or my double back fulls and you slow it down, you'll see that there's a little buckle in my elbow, which is quite a common thing that happens on backwards dismounts amongst athletes. And I think that buckle is probably the main thing taking me away from having a good, or at least, semi-good backwards dismount on P-bar. So when I do single flip, I can lock that left elbow. And I get a pretty good pop from what I felt there. But when I go doubles, that left arm buckles. So we're sitting on the Friday. And by the way, that's kind of how I'm going to start the high bar sesh. I'm going to always start with one piked Gaylord, because the speed of the giant between pike Gaylord and a pagan is two completely different speeds. So if I'm always warming up with one pike Gaylord, doing the slower speed, you know, it won't be a problem to go back to it, because it is the skill that I want to start my routine off in the future. Now, possible routine, it would be nice to get a stoop half connection, like a stoop half, even tuck Gaylord 2 by the time season starts would be great. But I mean, if we're talking ultimate set, it would be like a pike Gaylord, a pagan. I'd have to do a blind change there, a stoop half to Gaylord 2. Like if we're talking like top dream routine, stoop full Wallstrom. That would make a really late stoop full Wallstrom. So, you know, if I can get a stoop full in there without the Wallstrom, that's already a big plus. Then you do like a one-arm giant, you know, maybe a Stolder if I have room for one more B, and dismount with a triple back, or a double at full if I can't get the triple at the end of a set. It's going to be tough with the knees together. Knees together is mandatory these days. Honman noticeably getting a bit weaker, but you know, not worried about it. Just slowly chipping your way at getting into these first halves on P-bar. And you know, you would have noticed this week that I'm hopping out of that 1-bar Healy in the first half. So that's a big milestone, and you know, probably before this new year comes, I will might try the hop quarter directly after the 1-bar Healy. And Gatson's actually had some decent support on that left arm on the Friday, but not quite solid enough to get all the way around. Definitely stings. Those Gatson is almost stinging more than they were before. So I'm not doing too many, because I know just a little bit at a time, and eventually it'll all come together. Head first, fam, head first. Oh, maybe that was at like the same time, but I reckon if he slowed it down, the head would probably enter the pit first. Some more front double twist work, a little bit of back rotation to keep this ankle in recovery mode. And I've said it, I think, a few times before, but you know, you do want to push the pain threshold a little bit when you're recovering from, I'd say, most injuries, because if you just leave it alone, your body sort of thinks everything's okay, and I feel like it stops the healing process. But if you keep showing your body, nah, look, it still hurts over there, it still hurts, obviously sensibly, not too much, it'll continue to work on that area to get more of that scar tissue and inflammation out. It's kind of a theory that I have from all these years of having all sorts of injuries. But here is a pagan that was just a little feet cross, like crossed the feet a bit, but man, the extension is almost there. That's as close as it gets to the one that I'm after. Nothing beats doing a great caster handstand to finish the week off. So I thought, okay, if I get like a 10% chance and the stoop half goes good, I'll try Gaylord 2. So I started doing Gaylord 2 from the top change, and man, that first one was scary. Yeah, look at that reaction. That first one was scary, but I felt like, oh yeah, I know what to do. So did one stoop half to warm up. First one's always a bit off to the side, trolling the boys. And you know, luckily enough, second one went up just like the Thursday, literally like almost identical, really easy and comfy Gaylord 2. And happy chappy fam. Thank you, Will, thanks for the idea. High five. And this one even better. This one even better. The legs stayed together, though the stoop half was a bit low. There we go. So I think I want to continue training that, and when the bar gets a bit more strong and fit, connection gets better, stoop half gets better, try laying out the Gaylord 2. Just a couple of little Healy hops to finish, and you'll see me finish off the week with a nice single pommel straight up my butt, trying to circle up high. So thanks for watching. All the best till next time. Appreciate all the patrons. I am gonna get that Japan Junior International comp there eventually, but appreciate everyone's support. Till next time.